And there we are. How we doing, guys? I got the baseball game here on the side. I gotta keep an eye on what's happening. 1-1 at the moment. So, and Judge is getting ready to come up. Remember the last two times we're doing a live stream, and Judge was coming up and he hit a home run. So I'm hoping, just starting a live stream, he's up next. So hopefully he'll do that again. That would be awesome. But anyhow, good evening. So I hope everybody is doing well. No, they just changed pictures. So, all right. Before we jump into anything, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. If you cannot abide by those very simple, easy rules, those awesome people lit up in blue with the blue wrenches will boot you out of here. So we're just not going to have it. So we got Kathleen's in here, Bobby Farron, PG23, Ryan. We got Tina Weber's in the house. Hey, Tina, how you doing, hon? Delbert Jones, DJ's here. Mimi, Yvonne Berger, Delbert Jones, Carolyn Dems, and JJ, of course, as always, in the house. So, all right. Anyhow, I'm going to try. Like I said, I'm going to keep an eye on stuff here. I got my phone. I'm watching, going to have that on there, see what's going to happen. So hopefully the Yankees can take care of business here. We shall see. But, all right. So with everything that's going on, and I really wanted to talk a little bit tonight too, with this whole Israel thing. Now, I guess Israel and Hamas have agreed to the first step of a peace treaty, if you will, and that's releasing all the remaining hostages and having Israel pull back to a certain point. Now, I'm going to tell you something, and this is my take on it, and you guys can think whatever you want to think, which is perfectly fine. The Yankees are playing Toronto, and if they lose tonight, they're done in the playoffs. So this is a win-or-go-home game. It's a best-of-5 series, and Toronto won the first two in Toronto, and the Yankees won yesterday at home. So their Yankees are at home tonight. And if they win tonight, then they got to go back to, it wouldn't be tomorrow, it'll be the next day, to play in Toronto in a game 5. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, you have the situation where, and this, again, I'm going to give you my take on it, okay? They're saying of the 48 hostages that are still being held by Hamas, only 20 of them are alive out of 48. So they got 28 of them are dead. And of course, Israel wants their hostages back. Here's the problem to me, and this is my take on it, okay? If you do not eradicate Hamas, and when I say not one of them left, all right, what will happen, you make some kind of peace deal, and then all you're doing is giving Hamas time. You're buying them time to rearm, rebuild. How many new recruits do you think that they'll get lining up to be part of Hamas? And then it'll be a matter of time before the same thing happens again, and another generation of Jews will have to deal with this situation. To me, you deal with it now, you eradicate it, you get it out of the way, and then they're done, and they're gone. That's what I would deal. Yeah, a peace deal will never last. Absolutely never last. That's my take on it. You guys can think whatever you want, but if I'm Israel, I don't stop. I think Israel's in a no-win situation right now for a lot of reasons. It's been 2 years since they were attacked, okay? And what's happened is internationally, a lot of countries have I don't want to say turned against, but they don't like what Israel has done in response to it. Well, to me, I'd be like, too bad. Too bad. I don't care if you like it or not, that would be my take on it. But it's just it's a no-win situation for anybody. Nobody wins in war, but these people are dead set on killing all the Jews. That's their goal. That's their only mission. And they don't care how long it takes. That's what they want to do. Now, there's been a lot of talk, obviously, that the Jews knew that that attack was coming and they let it happen. Could that be true? I don't know, folks. I wasn't there. I'm not getting the intel. You know what I mean? I know that that the Jewish, Mossad and stuff like that, those guys are pretty squared away. Pretty squared away as far as intel, and they know what's going on. Oh wow, this picture looks great. They know what's going on, so it's a tough call in that whole situation. But it's just, I wouldn't want to be in their shoes. Let's put it like that. Again, you just, I really see. To me, I wouldn't care what popular. Oops, I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry, girl. I wouldn't care what the popular opinion was. I wouldn't care. I don't care what people would think. My goal, my only goal, would be to keep my people safe, and that's it. That's it. So that's just my take on that situation. Now, talking about the situation here, and you have this situation in Chicago. I think it was in Chicago this happened. If it wasn't Chicago, it was Portland. You had the ICE agents, the federal agents there, and you had Antifa attacking them. I think it was Chicago where it happened. That's exactly, yeah, it was Chicago. And you had Antifa attacking them. And the local mayor and the local governor did not let the local police help them. They were being attacked by Antifa and the rioting people that are there. And the local police were told to stand down by the governor and by the mayor of Chicago. That's criminal, guys. It's what it comes down to me. Did they want to get law and order? That's what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to get the illegals out of another sanctuary city, which is going on right now again, like always, right? And these governors and these mayors that are in these democratic cities in democratic states, anything Trump does, they want to do the exact opposite. It's insane to me. I am sure that the average citizen doesn't want to have to worry about being robbed, raped, and murdered on a daily basis. Yeah, they're doing it out of spite. Yep. Anything to try to jam him up, that's what they're going to do. And that is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. I don't get it. I just don't get it. What do we got? 154 in the chat right now. We got 54 thumbs up. So real quick, I'm going to ask you. It's in the money too. Exactly. Who's paying for it all? I think they're investigating that right now. Oh my God, that's funny. I'm reading that comment and I'm like, yeah, okay. Anyway, JJ got rid of it. So, like I said, I think a lot of it's being done out of spite. I know that they're investigating. They're trying to follow the money. Who's financing Antifa? Where's the money coming from? You have professionally paid protesters that are not from the area that are there, and they go to city to city to city. They've been exposed as professional protesters, and that's their job. They get paid to go around, cause problems and stuff like that. All I see is the Vietnam protesters all over again. Just my opinion. Thank you for letting me share. I understand what you're saying. I absolutely understand what you're saying. It's just the whole thing is just absolutely crazy. A little bit different than the Vietnam protesters, but these people are just, like I said, anything that Trump does, they're going to do the opposite. And yeah, wait till he invokes the Insurrection Act. I think that's coming. I think that's coming. You can't have these people doing the things that they're doing. You just can't. You can't let it keep going on. And again, I've had people say, it's a double-edged sword. So let's talk about this stuff, bringing the military in to some of these crime-ridden cities to get the crime under control when the local governments have the revolving door policy and all that type of stuff, okay? And a lot of times, and I'm going to go back to something else here in a minute, because I definitely want to bring this one up too. But it's a slippery slope, because is that like a first step towards totalitarianism? I'm trying to think of how you say the word. Totalitarian. Yeah. If I could speak and if I could say the word, it's like government control of everything, and I can't think of the name of the word. I know it in my head and I can't get it out. So, but anyway, but at the same time, a lot of people want them to come in, right? They want them to come in and stop the crime. Yes, there we go. Yeah, thank you. Yep, that's what I meant to say. I can't get it out, so I'm not going to even try to say. But yeah, that's totalitarianism, whatever. But I don't know why I can't get it out right now. I know the word is just not coming out. But anyhow, so that's that's what's going on. People are afraid that that's going to be happening, where you have a military state, basically, is what it comes down to. But again, when you have local governments are not dealing with the crime, New York is a great example, folks. I mean, look at New York. You have, you have these people that catch and release constantly. Yeah, we knew. You guys knew what I was trying to say. Yeah, I don't know. It just wasn't coming out. But yeah, it's insanity. The whole thing is insanity to me, and it's just it's a slippery slope, and I get that, but you can't keep letting criminals just do whatever they want and not have any justice for the law-abiding citizens. And then in these states, like Illinois, like New York, you're not allowed to defend yourself, basically. They make it almost impossible for law-abiding citizens to be able to get a pistol permit, to be able to defend themselves. And then, if you were open carrying, heaven forbid that you do that, because they're going to be going bananas because you're open carrying. I mean, it's just, it's a no-win situation. I'll give you an example of what I mean by that. You have, in New York, and I can go by New York because it's funny watching me get tongue-tied. Yeah, it happens occasionally. When I was in New York, to get a pistol permit, it would take you over a year. You'd have to buy the pistol first, leave it at the gun store. Then you had to put in your paperwork to get a pistol permit. Then the sheriff would have to go and interview people, making sure that you're a good person, that you're upstanding and you're not criminal minded and all this other stuff. And it was just, and the cost was ridiculous for all of this. I mean, it was insane to try to get a pistol permit in New York. But yet criminals can just go out on the street. And I've said it on video before. I said, if I wanted to go down to Rochester, New York, as long as I got the cash, I can get whatever I want within an hour. And that's just the way it is, okay? Now, I came down to West Virginia, and I moved down to West Virginia. And it is open concealed carry state. Right? No permit needed. You don't have to have a permit. So I had gone to the gun store, and you guys see me carrying my 45, my 1911 45. a lot of videos, you'll see it on my hip because that's what I carry most of the time. Is that I want something with serious stopping power, and a 45 has serious stopping power. But so I went to the gun store, had to do the the background check. You put that in, and they were like, and the day that I went, normally it goes by a lot quicker, but the day that I went was election day. All right, so it was a Tuesday. It was election day, and it was a good deal on the gun, so that's why I decided to buy it. And so what ended up happening was, I put money down on the gun, did the paperwork. They said we should hear within 3 days at the latest. It could take up to 30, right? And so I was like, okay. They called me 3 days later. You're all set. Come and pick up your gun. So I went in, paid for the pistol, and then I got it. So and it was as simple as that. And that's one of the things I love about this state. I was out today. I had some running around I had to do, and one of the things I had to go get gas. So I had a gas can that was empty. So I went and got the gas, and the girl at the counter that was working at the counter, she says, "Oh, I like your pistol." And I'm like, "Oh, thank you." And I told her it's a 45 1911. She goes, "Oh, that's good. I like it." She goes, "I like the 45." She goes, "Those are good guns." I said, "Yeah." I go, "You hit somebody with a 45, they're not going to get back up." And she goes, "Absolutely." So, it's normal down here for people to open carry or conceal carry. And the cops are fine with it. They don't give you a hard time. The trippiest thing for me was being on my motorcycle, and I'm open carrying on my motorcycle. And they just I see cops all the time, guys. If I'm out, and if I go to any one of the local areas, I see cops all the time. The sheriffs, the county sheriffs or the state police or whoever it is. And as long as you're not being a jerk, you're fine. At personal gun sales within the same state don't require permits as long as the buyer doesn't tell the seller he has criminal intent. Oh, I see. Right. Well, obviously, I bought the gun for me. that's who I bought it for. I'm not buying it for anybody else. So those are things too that you gotta you think about. But yeah, it's just they don't want you to be able to protect yourself, and a lot of these states continue to make it harder and harder and harder. New York went now, and I want you to remember something here, okay? The Second Amendment says shall not be infringed. I mean, that's what the Second Amendment says. So it's not like there's a question, I'm not sure. But you have these states, and again, I'm going to use New York, and it's one of the reasons why I had enough and I left New York State. So the first thing New York State wanted you to do was to register your rifles. And I will tell you this right now, and I know a lot of people did not. Some people did, okay? Registration leads to confiscation. Remember when I say that, okay? If they're like, look at Nazi Germany, folks. The Germans came into power. Everybody had to register their guns. What did they do next? They went and collected all the guns. It was just a matter of time, and that's what they did. They went and collected all the guns, took all the guns away from the everyday citizenry, okay? And so New York did that first. And then what they did is they said, we got to get rid of all high-capacity magazines, right? All high-capacity magazines. So you could only have a 10-round clip, and you could only have 7 rounds in your 10-round clip. These are the laws that they put into New York, okay? Now, what they've implemented since I left, which I knew was coming because they were talking about it coming then, is when you went to buy ammo, like say it's hunting season, and you want to get a box of 25 rounds of birdshot, you now in New York have to go through a background check to buy ammunition. So what are they doing? They're checking, they're knowing exactly what you're doing, what you're buying, what you have, what you don't have. No way. Absolutely not. That's ridiculous. And again, shall not be infringed. What part of that are they not understanding? So what they're doing, no, they got it, Matt. They have it with the 10 round clips. Like if you buy a new rifle in New York, what happens is they have the magazine, a 10 round magazine. Like, and if you're going to buy an AR-15, for an example, that 10 round magazine is locked into that thing. So it's not like you can take it out and go ahead and get your 20 or 30 round mag and put that in. They got it pinned in. Now, can you take that out? Of course you could. Okay. But, oh, did he walk? Yes, he did. Okay. But again, it's just in Illinois, you now have to have open carry permit and concealed carry permit for even handheld crossbow. And that is stupid to be only you can have one bolt to fire at a time. And that takes a minute. Yeah, it's crazy. It's all crazy. But yet, right? Do the criminals follow these rules? They do not. They do whatever they want to do. All you're doing is making law-abiding citizens become criminal, because now if they decide, I'm keeping my 20 and 30 round magazines, I'm not getting rid of them, I'm not registering my rifle, or what they're ended up doing is they have to go to another state to buy ammo and stuff. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. I don't miss it at all. I don't miss it at all. So, yeah, so that's what's going on with that right now. And, it's just, but that's one of the games that are being played. And that's how they're trying to slowly erode your rights. The mags are limited to 10 rounds, yes, but the 7 round was challenged and overturned November 20th or 30th. Oh, okay. All right. I did not know it got overturned, but I've always thought that was ridiculous as well when they did that. But again, who are they to tell us that we could only have a 10 round magazine? Who are they to tell us that we have to register anything? Now, obviously, if you're a felon and you get caught with a pistol or a rifle, then guess what? You go back to jail, as they should, right? And here's the thing with that. Let's bring that up a second, okay? So now you've were convicted. Let's say you were 18, 19, you got convicted of a felony. You made a mistake. I don't think anybody on here hasn't done something at some time or another that could have got him jammed up. Maybe you got away with it. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you didn't, whatever. Things happen. And you get convicted of this felony. Now that felony's on your record, right? That felony's on your record. So, 10 years, 15 years goes by. Now you're mature. You're more grounded. You're more squared away. You did your time. Let's say you went to prison and did whatever amount of time you did, but you're never allowed ever again to own a firearm. I think if you've committed your debt to society, right, as long as it wasn't, like a weapon used in a crime, like, if you got possession of drugs to a certain level, but no gun was involved or something like that, that's what I'm talking about, okay? I'm not talking about the guy that was an armed bank robber. He probably shouldn't have a gun again. So, but again, it's a slippery slope. It's a very slippery slope. But so, and here's another one. Now, I want you to explain this one to me, okay? New York State is one of the states where it's now legal to have marijuana. You can smoke marijuana. You can have up to a certain amount, and they did all that type of stuff. And, you can grow your marijuana at your home and the whole 9 yards. So that's all legal now. Up to, again, you're not going to have 100 pot plants on your property. That's not, it's limited to how many that you can have. But you grow your own weed. You can smoke publicly, and nobody gives a crap anymore. Now, here's the fun part. I want you to think about this one. You want to go and get your medical marijuana card because with your job, they're going to drug test you, and maybe you're having pain. So you want to get your medical marijuana card so you can go to the dispensary and get what you want to get, right? Wonderful. If you get your medical marijuana card, you've just forfeited your gun rights. I want you to think about that. You are no longer allowed to possess a gun if you have your medical marijuana card. So there's a registry that you're registered, You know, a lot of these people had no idea. They had no idea that that was part of it. You're giving up your gun rights. Now, I'm going to tell you what, okay? I used to smoke a lot of pot back in the day, not going to lie. Not one time ever smoking pot, getting stoned out of my mind, did I go, hey, you know what? I think I'm going to go start shooting people up. I was making a trip to the refrigerator or to Taco Bell or wherever to go get something to eat. And then most likely I was probably going to take a nap. That's what I did. Okay. But you give up your gun rights if you have your medical marijuana card. How does that make any sense? You know, it's insanity. It's just another way for them, the powers that be, to control you. That's all it is. That's all it is. So, I mean, I had people say, yeah, I think I'm going to get that. I could, don't even, if you, I go, do you have rifle, pistol? And they're like, yeah. I said, don't ever get your medical marijuana card. So think about it. Think about it. And I'm going to tell you what, if I was still involved in any of that, which I'm not, okay, but if I was, I'm going to go to my local guy and get my weed. I'm not buying it from a dispensary. I'm not getting it where who knows, I don't know what they're doing to it. You know, I'll go get the homegrown stuff. You can get some really good homegrown weed from people. So, you know, here in Iowa, it's the same medication. Weed users can't own a shooter. Yeah, it's insane. So, who didn't smoke in the 70s? Yeah, no kidding. A lot of coke in the 80s, too. I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing about that. Felons can now vote here in Iowa as of 3 years ago. Oh, see, I did not know that. Yeah, people that are high tend to do things slower. I'll tell you a true story. True story. Now, I got a lead foot, folks. I like to move along when I'm driving. And this is going back, oh my God, this is going back a long time ago. Okay, a long time ago. Probably 35 years, if not longer. Okay. So, out with a buddy of mine. I stopped and got stoned, and he didn't want to, so he didn't. And so I got pretty high. I was pretty high. And so we left, and I'm driving, right? So I'm driving. And he's like, you know, and I got the tunes on, and I'm just tooling along. And he goes, dude, what are you doing? And I go, what? He goes, you're doing 40 miles an hour in a 55. And I looked down, and sure enough, I was doing 40 miles an hour in a 55 mile an hour zone. Just because I was so stoned, I was just chilling, just enjoying, doing my thing. But that's what you do when you smoke pot. You're not out there looking to shoot nobody up. You know, it's just, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I had to give that up just because there was a lot of reasons for that. A lot of reasons for that. But anyway, pot made me had a bad reaction at times. Was not my poison of choice. See, I really liked it. Okay, really liked smoking pot. But the thing was, for me personally, and everybody's different. Okay, so some people smoke pot and it helps them focus and blah blah blah. For me, if I smoked pot at 8 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock at night, that was the end of my day. Nothing else was going to get done. I was going to see how much higher I could get. I was going to have something to eat, and I was probably going to take a nap, but nothing got accomplished. And so to me, I had to give it up because I had things I wanted to do and what I wanted to accomplish in life. And I knew to get to where I wanted to be and do the things that I wanted to do, I had to leave that behind me. And that's what I did. So, you know, but no, I was one of those guys. You ever see, there was a commercial or a meme that was out there, and it's got the guy and his eyes are all like bloodshot, like crazy. And he looks at his buddy and he goes, what are you doing? He goes, I'm rolling another one. He goes, you're rolling another one? He goes, I'm already high. And he goes, yeah, let's get higher. I was that guy. Let's see how much higher we could get. That was my thing. But I just, like I said, it's, and I'll tell you, and I've told you guys before on here, I'll spark up once or twice a year just because why not? Because I feel like it, So, but I just, if I'm going to do it, I'm home. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not driving anywhere. I wouldn't drive stoned anymore. I wouldn't do that. But I just, I'd rather just sit around, maybe have a couple of beers. I like that better. So. So what do we got? We got 226 in the chat. We got 102 on the thumbs up. So that's less than half. If you guys have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. And thank you very much for doing so ahead of time. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I will talk about that too. That's a good one too. Live the dream. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. I do appreciate that. It really makes a big difference with the algorithms. So I thank you for that reason as well. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I thank you for that ahead of time. So you're talking about the red flag laws, where a family member, somebody that lives in your house, could say that they are concerned, right? Maybe, or somebody that doesn't like you. Red law flags were banned in Texas. That's good. But so what they've done with a lot of people, they'll go knock on their door, because somebody was concerned, and they'll confiscate all your guns and then, maybe arrest you on a 5150, which is a psych evaluation, take you in, lock you up for at least 72 hours to see if you're a nut job or not. And then you got to go through the nightmare trying to get your weapons back, which is insane as well. I mean, just all of it. Again, everything that they try to do on the books, right? Everything that they try to do on the books. And you could be doing nothing. You could be a Joe average citizen just, minding your business, but because somebody gets a stick in their butt and wants to try to jam you up, that's what they do. So. Tina Weber says, not all Iowa felons automatically get their voting rights restored. If felony falls under Pacific Code, they have to submit a request, need to be sent to the governor's office. I gotcha. Yeah, that's another one too. They lose their right to vote, the whole 9 yards. But like I said, again, if you've paid your debt to society, why shouldn't they be allowed to vote if they want to? So. Mary says, oh, that could be an issue. Just don't tell anyone your business. What no one knows doesn't hurt you. Yeah, exactly. But you're, like I said, that's, like I said, I love where I live because there's nobody around. I have peace and quiet. Well, not that I have peace and quiet with the dogs, but you know what I mean. I don't have neighbors right there. I don't have to deal with that kind of craziness and stuff like that. And, that's peace of mind. I will tell you that right now. That's huge peace of mind. Oh, yeah. I was going to mention that. Alaska Prepper. I just saw the video. We just posted a video the other day. He had been offline for quite a while with no explanation, no anything. And I guess he's been dealing with a lot of medical issues. And also going through a divorce. And I was like, okay, I get that. I mean, I went through a divorce being on YouTube. So, I get it. You kind of shut down. You really do. I mean, it's just, it's not an easy thing to deal with. And it's a lot of stress. And it's just not a pleasant thing to deal with. So I'm glad to see that Rudy, Alaska Prepper, is back online. And hopefully he'll start making some more videos again. And but yeah, it's and give the guys respect. That's what I would say too. Don't we don't know the circumstances of the divorce or what caused it or what like that. So but he's a decent guy. And like I said, he's going through some heavy duty health issues. So definitely give him some support. Hey, Ed, my aunt hired some random kids to help her move into her house. They went around that night stealing my aunt's money and stuff around her backyard at night. Well, that's not good. Yeah, you got to be really careful. It's really, really tough. It's really, really tough. Yeah, it's just, but dog barking is music to my ears. Crazy car noise and neighbors doing home repairs at 2 a.m. That drill sound coming through the wall. Yeah, that's not very fun. Not very fun at all. All right, JJ, there's another one if you want to take care of this child for me, please. And thank you ahead of time. You see the one I'm talking about, JJ? Thank you very much. See, and I'm gonna ask you guys, please do not engage with those people because they're morons, and they're just looking for a rise. So, no, that wasn't Robert. And like I said again, don't engage those people. But don't engage those people. JJ is there to take care of that, and the rest of my moderators. So, hey, people are idiots. What are you going to do? It's what you got to deal with. you know, that's just part of the joy of YouTube. So, yeah, JJ, the moderators and JJ do a great job with the idiots, so they're very much appreciated. But so I went out. I had to go out today, and I ended up getting a new tarp for the canopy that you guys saw. And so I'm going to actually be I'll show you on video. I'll put that up tomorrow and get that. The pavilion is going to be worked on this weekend. We're going to get the windows in. We're going to get the drop downs for the screened in areas finished, insulated, and the paneling on those. And so that'll be happening this weekend as well. And I'm really excited about that because then we're going to be able to, no matter what the temperature is outside, we're going to be able to go in there, be able to stay warm. And if it gets too hot, we can just open some of the front windows and we're going to be golden. So that is awesome. Really, really, really happy about that. So, but yeah, so that's going to be one of the things that we're going to be working on. We got a couple of the places, Johnson's place, and we're going to help Jamie and Dawn get their gutters up this weekend. So that'll be, again, moving in the right direction, preparedness wise. And but that's, like I said, a lot going on. Hey, Ed, sorry I'm late. Love watching your shows. Well, thank you, William. I appreciate that. Hey, Ed, on the drop-down side of the pavilion, would it be better to seal coat on one side so you don't have to do it while it's up? We're probably I actually need to do a sealer on the whole pavilion itself on the outside on that T111. So that's something that we're going to have to look at. It's not going to happen as it's getting colder. That would be more of a spring project to do. And that's actually something that I could do when everybody's not here. That would be absolutely something that I could, because I like painting. I painted professionally for years. So, I know how to paint. So, but, so yeah, that would be something, a good stain to seal it in really, really well. That would be a good thing. But yeah, we just, but the paneling part itself should be, that's got a pretty decent coat of whatever it is on there. So that should be okay. And again, that's only going to be down when the weather's not good. Otherwise, it'll be up. I do not paint like the Karate Kid. No, I'll wax, paint to the fence and paint the fence. Yeah. I was thinking wax on or wax off. That was so corny. That was the corniest stuff I ever saw. Great. I love the movie, though. Love the movie. About 4 years off and on as a subscriber here. Oh, that's cool. No, I understand. 38 degrees tonight, supposedly in upstate New York. Yeah, actually, tonight we're going to be like, I think, in the 50s down here. And then I think tomorrow our high is only going to be like in the low 60s. And then we're looking at high 30s after that at night. So, but yeah, it's, the weather's changing. It's that time of year. But so we're going to finishing up. Now, there's other stuff that we need to do in the pavilion, okay? But once we have the pavilion buttoned up to the point where we're going to be at, then we're going to focus on the shower room after that, okay? So that's kind of what our game plan is. I want more cabinets in the pavilion, and we got to get a sink put in the pavilion. Hello. This is the first time she's bothered me during the stream, which is very nice. Are you a good girl? Huh? Where's my kiss? Where's my kiss? Hey, here. Thank you. Okay. Be a good girl. Get down. Oh, thank you. But once we get the pavilion all buttoned up, then we're ready for winter. And, when we're gathering, we'll get that wood stove rocking. It's going to make such a huge difference. Now that we got, the loft in, and those type of things. But I had, like I said, today I had a lot of running around to do that I had to get done. So I was out and about doing that. So I've been subscribed since he just started in New York. Oh, wow. Okay. That's a long time ago. Long time ago. Yeah, it's wild thinking back to when I first got started doing it. And how much things have changed, and what I learned a lot and trial and error and made a ton of mistakes. But the coolest thing for me, honestly, with making the mistakes and sharing the mistakes with you guys, it shows you don't do this. I've done it, don't do it, but started following you while you were in Greece, New York. Okay. Yeah, that's a long time ago. Long time ago. You figure I've been out of the Greece house over 10 years ago? Something like that. Mary says, I still like watching the older videos. I will go back once in a while, Mary, and I'll watch a couple of the older videos. When I was in the basement, and had the buckets and all the other stuff down there. Yeah. And you know what the funny part is? A lot of those buckets, guess where they're at? They're here. They're here now. In several different places. But yeah. Are you going to be making more prepper haul videos? I like those. I'm curious what people are getting in their preps. Yes. After this get-together weekend, I will definitely be going and making another prepper haul for the group as far as like food goes, stuff like that. One of the things I will tell you, actually, while you're here, one of the things as a group. Oh, the huge beard. Yeah. I had a long beard, man. That was definitely, that was long. Yeah. And then, yeah, that was pretty wild. I might do that again some point. I don't know. We'll see. I got to get in the mood. I got to, it kind of depends. It gets to a point where it's so long that it's just a pain. And then when it's a pain, I don't want it anymore. So I'll always end up reverting back to the goatee. I would kind of switch it up a little bit when I was younger. I mean, I had the Fu Manchu mustache with no goatee, had the soul patch, and then I've had the mustache come down to a certain point and then just a little bit on the chin. I mean, I've switched it up so many times, or just a full beard. It just, it kind of, but the goatee is pretty much the one that stayed the longest. I've had the goatee forever. So. Oh, the drawing. Well, hold on. Let me pull this off of here. Okay. That's one of the pictures somebody had made when I had the full beard. I always liked that. I thought that came out really, really good. Got my flannel on. It's wintertime, and I got the full beard going. So whoever did that picture, I don't even remember because you didn't put his name on there, but they did an awesome job, and I love that picture. I think that was really cool. 2-1 in the fifth. That's right. I stopped watching. I was like, that's close game. Close game so far. Let me see. He's given up 2 runs. What's his pitch count at? He's 68 pitches through 5 innings, which is a great pitch count through 5 innings. So 75 is where you kind of want to be at. So Grizzly Adams meets ZZ Top. Well, the problem was people started saying when I had the full beard, and of course then I started getting white, oh, you look like Santa Claus. And I'm like, wait a minute. I don't want to look like Santa Claus. So, but, oh, we got to do egg count, guys. I know JJ just put it up there. I wasn't even paying attention. All right, so we're going to do egg count. So how many eggs today? Yes or no for Miss Betty White? And how many of the Easter eggers laid? We have 3 Easter eggers. So I'll let you guys get your guesses in, and we will go from there. I never noticed you wore earrings. Oh, I've had both of my ears pierced twice, worn earrings off and on. I just hadn't had them on lately, but I went out today, so I had my earrings in today. So diamonds in the top, hoop on the bottom. All right. Give you guys a minute. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to do so, please, to show support for the channel. And I thank you ahead of time. Also, again, it really does make a big, big difference with the algorithm. So I do appreciate it for that reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. All right. All right, guys. I kind of figured this was going to be the case. Nobody got in the private live stream earlier as well. We only had 5 eggs today. Betty White did lay today, and 0 of the Easter eggers laid today. Not one of the Easter eggers laid today. So I didn't think anybody was going to get it today, and I was right. It just, like I said, I don't know if it's the weather changing, if some of them are starting to molt, and that could be the case as well. And so yeah, but so that's a good thing. Yeah, JJ now puts it. There you go, JJ. There you. But yeah, so unfortunately, no winner today. The slackers, exactly. That's what I said too. I went out there and I was like, "You lazy chickens." So, but what are you going to do? Sometimes they lay and sometimes they don't. Oh, I was going to show you guys, showed everybody in the private live stream. I'm going to show you guys this too. Hold on. So my dogs are spoiled. Yeah, it's getting colder. It's getting colder out. So my dogs are spoiled. Okay, they are. They're like my children, so they get spoiled. So I had been going and I had a bunch of cat food here, wet cat food. And so I've been given, like, at night when I put the dogs to bed, Green Greg is doing an egg count now. That's cool. Copycat. That's all right. That's all right. But there's only one original egg count guy. So there we go. um, so what I did was I went to like Walmart, and the small cans, of cat food are like 50 cents a piece, right? So I'm like, oh, that's not bad. So I'll take two of those, and I give them that in with their dry food at night when they go to bed. And so I went to the store today, had to go to Walmart, and I was like, all right, let me go see what they got. Well, I walked into the dog food aisle, and they had the cans, good, decent sized cans. That's a 13-ounce can of the dog food for $1. So I'm like, man, you can't beat that. So I picked up 20 cans of that, and then that'll, I'll give, I don't know if I'm going to give them two or if I'm just going to give them one. I might do two, just because why not, right? If I give them two, that means it's 10 days, at night. They get it at night when they go to bed, and then they'll have that, with their dry food. So I'll put that. What I might do with these is I might try to mix it in. So, but they're they're good pups, and so that's a little extra treat for them, and we'll see. But yeah, so that's kind of one of the things that I picked up today. And like I said, the price isn't bad. So, oh, are you kidding me? I will go, Anthony. Like one of the treats that they got today. Just give you an example. I'll pick up a pound of bologna. All right. I might eat one or two sandwiches, bologna sandwiches out of that. And yeah, I have two in each ear. I don't know why that's fascinating to people. I've had two in each ear for years. When I was younger in the 80s, I had only the left ear pierced, bottom one, because back then, if you were left ear, you were straight. If it was in your right ear, you were gay. And then probably, I don't know, it was 2000 maybe, in that range, in that time. I don't remember exactly when, but then I had gotten, then I went and got the other side pierced. I got both. Well, then I wanted to be able to put, like, if you can see, here, wrong side. It's weird on camera. So I got the hoop in the bottom and the diamond above. I wanted to do it that way. So, and that's what I did. And if you think that's anything, I don't really give a crap. I like it. That's why I did it. And there's no other piercings. I don't do any other piercings. So that's what I like, and so that's what I do. But anyway, so today is what I did with them for an extra treat. I gave them, what's it, Mr. Clean? I give them like a slice of bologna too. So I go out and they're in the run, and like you see them, if I go up to the run, they're up on a door, and I just give each one of them a little slice of bologna, and they love it. So yes, they're spoiled, but they're doing well. Yeah, I have holes in my head. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So, but I am hoping, and we'll find out, that Kali is not pregnant. That's what I'm hoping, because the reason I think she might not be, when a couple days ago I went, she was in the run. She goes in the run overnight, and what I did was in the morning, I brought Genghis out first. I always bring Genghis out first because he's the biggest and strongest, and he's trying to pull my arm out of my socket. The dog is just incredibly strong, and so I'll take him into the run first. And so I put him in, and the minute he got in there, he was trying to mount her. Now, when Hella was took and was done, she wanted nothing to do with it after that. So I'm hoping that she's not pregnant, and so that's my hope, and we'll see. I mean, if she is. We'll deal with it, and that's just kind of the way it goes. But I'm hoping that she's not, because I don't want her. She's too young. So, Do your pups howl at night? Sometimes, not a lot. No, not a lot. I mean, if they're in the wolf's lair at night, they don't. But like, you know, sometimes like with Kali being by herself right now, she doesn't like it, obviously, so she'll howl here and there. This one, when I would leave, Steve always told me that Hella would howl because I was gone. She didn't like it. She wants to be when I'm telling you what this dog wants to be up my butt 24/7. She wants to be up my butt 24/7. So, but yeah, so that's kind of the way that is. But just don't you? Huh? Are you a pain in the behind? Oh, you're a princess. You're a princess. Now she's gonna come up here because I talked to her. Watch. I don't know. What's going on? Best dog, I'm telling you right now, best dog ever. She's a pain in the behind, but I love her to death, and she is a really good dog and loyal like you would not believe. Loyal, very loyal, aren't you, baby girl? Yes, you are. So, anyway, she's a good pup. She is a good pup. Tony Blackwood, do you feel like something is about to take place? Yes, Tony. I've had a very strong feeling for quite a while now, to be honest with you, quite a while. And I've just really, we have been trying to button certain things up down here. Since the beginning of the year, I just, the sense of urgency has been there and is getting stronger. And so, getting people to get their wood stoves in, get their rain catchments set up, and get all those things done ahead of time, because when things do go sideways and everybody has to come here, then they're going to have full water tanks. They're going to have a wood stove ready to go with firewood available to them. And that's where I want to be, as a group, what I want to have us be able to do. And but yeah, I just, there's another shoe about to drop. And like I said, I'm not making a prediction and it's going to be this date or it's going to be that date. I really feel, and I've told you guys this a bunch of times, and I could be completely wrong, but I think at some point we're going to be facing a grid down situation, because that is going to be the most devastating way to destroy America. An asteroid, absolutely, Anthony. It could be an asteroid too, and it could be, a planet killer, as they call it. That's what killed the dinosaurs, was an asteroid. So, but if we get into really cold weather, they turn the lights out, folks. And especially with all these morons wanting to go green, green, green on everything and not have, propane and all that type of stuff. It's going to be an ugly situation, really, really ugly situation. So, I will always continue to encourage you guys to continue to prep, continue to stock up. That's what we're doing here. Just trying to be as ready as we possibly can be. When the time comes, we'll deal with the situation as we have to deal with it. And that's all we can do. I'm hopeful that all my people will get here. That's important to me as well. Stop, baby. Just give me a minute. I'm almost done. I'm hoping that everybody gets here safely. And we're just trying to, and it's not just rain catchment and wood stoves and food and ammo and guns and medical supplies. It's clothing. It is toiletries. It is socks and shoes and anything that you can think of, screws and nails and bungee cords, paracord, extra rope, plenty of tools. I mean, the list can go on and on and on of things that you would need. Seeds, making sure we have enough seeds, because that's where you're going to be getting your food. I keep telling people that we're going to be gatherers and growers. We're not going to be hunters, because there's not going to be anything to hunt. And I keep saying that, and people are like, what are you talking about? Every moron in the world is going to be out there hunting in those woods when there's no more food supply. and the woods will be hunted dry, and the rivers and the lakes will be fish dry in no time. It'll be okay for a while, but we got to wait till the numbers are decreased. And like I said, within inside of a year, there'll be a lot less people. It would take a long, long time for the animal population to recover, but hopefully they would. You look at the Great Depression. The Great Depression is a great example of that. And there was a whole lot less people then. So got to pay attention to history, pay attention to the lessons, and kind of go from there. So I'm going to leave you guys with my favorite saying, STD, right? Step, thing, and day. If you set realistic goals that you can reach and you set about to make them happen, one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do. Work at it methodically, and it will get done. All right? Be safe, everybody. I will be on Sunday for the next live stream. Or no, Friday. Today's Wednesday. I'll be on Friday. Sorry, guys. Friday for the next live stream. So I will see you guys all Friday at 8 o'clock. I hope you're all being safe, and I will talk to you all later. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.